Hello, and we're back with our special guest Kaz today with another episode of Transform. And what got you started on your fitness journey?
Um, well, I've been doing some kind of fitness for like all of my adult life, really.
Hmm.
But what got me back into bodybuilding was I had a CrossFit injury,
Hmm.
quite a bad one. So I had to stop doing CrossFit. I'd given bodybuilding a go 10 years prior, and what was my last comp? And my son had just competed and did really well. So I thought I'd give it another go and a good go, whereas last time I didn't feel like I'd give it 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess my son was my inspiration to get back into bodybuilding.
So when you first started all them times ago, was it just the passion not there as much? Were you doing it because your friends were doing it? Or were you doing it because you
Yeah,
had a few people you knew were doing it? How did you first get involved in that point?
I think it was I knew people that were doing it, and I'd kind of done, like I say, lots of other stuff. Fitness wise, I ran a marathon. I
Nice.
was into running. I was into running for a while,
Hmm.
and then I started training with a girl who was into bodybuilding. And she'd competed, and I thought, oh well, it's just one thing to tick off.
Hmm.
And I didn't realise the commitment, I guess. I didn't
That's
realise
a
how
lot.
hard, oh yeah,
That's
and
a
the
lot.
diet, how hard the diet was going to be.
Yeah.
And I reckon I gave it, I don't know, all I wanted to do was step on stage and say that I'd done it really, just
Hmm.
to tick it off. So I didn't really give it a good go. I got on stage and I kind of looked okay-ish, but I certainly wasn't competitive and I wasn't happy with how I looked.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go back and give it a good crack.
I think we're our own worst critic that way, though, because you'll always never be happy, if you know what I mean. It's hard to be happy.
Yeah,
You're always
it is
shooting for
hard to
the
be
next
happy.
goal. Yeah,
Exactly. It's a bit like that, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Which is good, I guess,
yeah.
in a way.
So, yeah, on some things, yeah, other things not so, if you get what I mean. But
Mm.
it's
Yeah,
because we're our own worst critic. Then it's like anyone else. Like you'll say, oh, you've done well, you look great, or whatever. But that person himself will notice certain areas that they want to improve more. It's just the way it
yeah,
is. You know what I mean?
exactly. It
Everyone.
is.
Well, I found the same thing with anyone on their fitness journey. They'll always say, oh, I don't like this area, I don't like that. But where it was when they first started, and now is like 100 times better if you sort of get in.
Yeah,
So it's like it's hard to take outside criticism sometimes.
it is, and it's hard to take.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to take like good feedback too
Feedback. Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, talking about feedback, how was your feedback from both shows? Did you get feedback with both, or you don't remember both?
So I did state nationals, so I did
Hmm.
state and then Southerns, and then I did worlds. So
Yep.
I've done three
Congrats.
Nabba shows. Yeah, it was a long journey, but
Yeah. Thanks.
and it was like full of like ups and downs, like it was hard physically but emotionally as well.
Yeah.
So the first stage show I did athletic figure in all of them,
Hmm.
won the first one, which was a real shock. Like I didn't expect
Nice.
to at all. So that was great.
Awesome.
And then Southerns didn't place, which was fine. The competition and the lineup was really tough.
It's fierce.
Oh, it was. And there were some, the girls are just an inspiration, all of them. So I kind of toyed with, shall I do Worlds? I didn't place at Southerns, and it's another 4 weeks of prep, and I was, on
Yeah.
struggle street anyway.
Financial strain as well. It would be more because more financial strain on you doing welds, and then you've
Exactly.
already done
Yeah,
two. You've already done two, and then because you're like, it's not cheap to get ready for a show, if you get what I mean.
it's not cheap, and
No.
it was out of state as well.
Yeah.
So I got a flight to Sydney, and it
Mm.
was actually a couple of the girls from the Southerns that said to me, "No, you've got to do this. You
Mm.
earned your place at Worlds. Just finish the job." And I'm like, you know what? I didn't start the job to not finish it properly.
Mm.
That was my goal the whole time, was to finish the job, finish it off properly, with my head held high, no matter what happens.
I bet you feel better that you actually went through and did it because that doubt part in your mind, if you wouldn't have, would have always played. Like, 'cause I've had the same thing happen
Oh,
where
yeah,
I get ready for this, or then I decide to pull out, or something like that, and then you get that doubt. You at least haven't got that, and you follow
that's
through.
it.
So that's a
And
really good
actually,
thing.
I actually placed. I got the bronze medal, so I was
Congrats.
so happy. Like I was
Nice.
just like so
Yeah.
emotional. Like
Yeah.
glad. I mean, the show was fantastic. The venue was all of it was great. It was just a world class venue and competition, really.
Yeah. What was the venue like? Was it
It was
compared to the other one?
amazing.
Was it a lot bigger, or what was it like in there? Was it good?
Yeah, it was bigger, so there was several different floors,
Nice.
and you got like chauffeured up to the floor that you needed to be on, and there was like um a backstage room that we were all waiting at, like, and we
Mm-hmm.
got to walking down in a back lift down to the backstage area, so it was
Oh,
all
nice.
really, like
Mm,
really nice, really nicely set up.
mm.
There was it was like a corporate building, really, like it
Okay.
was really flash, and we felt really spoiled. That's for sure.
Transport would have been easier because it would have been in the main part of Sydney, wasn't it? So that would have just been straight with the train would have been like basically right smack bang there, close to it, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just go in Ubers. I'm like, I can't be doing with waiting around for trains. Like we don't
It's
have that here. Like
they're like they I think they're like every 5 or 7 minutes there.
yeah,
That's
right.
how quick they are. They're like bang, bang, bang. It's not long
Whereas
between or
here,
15. Yeah.
we don't have any public transport. Like I live on the Sunshine Coast, and
Oh
like
no.
there's no.
You
It's
got you
terrible.
you got a couple of buses. You get like a bus every half an hour or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah. It's like similar public transport when I used to live down in East Mainland and that in Mainland. It's like an hour between them. It's not efficient. But yeah, no,
No.
Sydney's very quick. But yeah, Uber would have been okay. What's the
Yeah,
traffic
it's
like there
fine.
in Sydney? Was there really bad?
Well, it was bad compared to here, but those Uber drivers know their ways to get their way around it, don't they?
Yeah, true. So you're on the Gold Coast, or further up?
Sunny Coast, so like a couple of hours away from the Gold Coast.
Okay, like towards
Yeah.
Brisbane itself.
Yeah, past Brisbane, like the other way.
Yeah,
So you're driving from Gold Coast, yeah, past
yeah,
Brisbane and then the other way.
yeah. My sister lives up there. But yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool. So when you're actually training, what are you training? What's your training style, and what have you been doing for training? Now you've moved into the off season because I was asking about the feedback, but we got sidetracked. So we'll get back to the
Oh,
feedback
yeah.
after the training because that's what I was sort of getting into that. So we'll start with the feedback there. Look at me, that's my ADD taking over, asking 2 or 3 questions at once here and there. Yeah. Okay.
So the feedback was my posing let me down in the first comp, that's for sure.
Okay.
So um, initially I was going to do the bikini division, but then
Hmm.
I'd spoken to Nabba and they were like, no, you kind of suit athletic figure more. So I think I'd only got a couple of weeks to learn the posing, which is completely different.
Yeah, I was
So to
about to
try
ask
and,
that if it was different. Yeah, kick on.
yeah, so to try and like do a lat spread, I'd never done a lat spread before. And I had no idea how hard it was to do a lat spread.
You've
Like
got
for
to sort of
me,
pop them out. Yeah, it's weird. And you sort of, if you round it too
yeah.
far, it rounds them over, and yeah, you got chest up, and
I just couldn't. It took me like hours and hours of like posing in my garage to get that lat spread. And like I met when I went to because I competed in IFBB as well
hmm
as Nabba.
hmm
So when I went to nationals in Melbourne, I met a posing coach there who was just awesome. Like she, spent time with me in Melbourne trying to perfect
fix it.
my pose as much as we could.
Yeah,
And then I just practiced the shit out of it. Like every night, I was like, to the point that actually hurt my shoulder trying to figure it out.
yeah.
Um,
You got a cramp?
so
I hate when
yeah,
you get them.
oh
I
yeah,
get them in the chest and that usually. Kick on. Yeah,
yeah. It's posing's a pain for that. Hey,
yeah, yeah. You squeeze wrong.
um,
Yeah, so
yeah,
you've got to relax with it so you don't like overstrain, or especially when you first restart and you haven't done it in a while. Yeah,
yeah, definitely. And you get
correct.
sore, so sore after.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, that was the feedback was to perfect, try and figure out your lat spread basically, and then the feedback from the second one was to try and like soften up, I guess, a little bit because I came in really lean.
obviously coming too dry.
Yeah,
Mm,
so I tried to kind of soften up and increase my calories a little bit between Southerns and Worlds, and I think I did a little bit.
mm.
Hopefully, I could have probably gone a bit softer, but there's only so much you can do in 4 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, true. And like I said, if you're messing with that, it's hard to nail what you're trying to do. If you get what I mean, and
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
more you've done it, the easier it becomes with your body. It's just once you're holding something, it's harder to hold it for a long time. And you had a long time between all them shows, if you get
Oh
what I mean.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's it's hard to because then you got to either pull back up or pull back down, and then either way, So yeah, it's
That was
hat
tricky.
off to you.
That was really tricky. That
Yeah,
was because you
yeah, it would
can't.
have been.
you'd finish a show and you'd have like, right, that's it, I'm taking 2 days off. And to try and rein it back in again after that's really hard.
Yeah, it's my problem sometimes. You're like, yeah, 7,000 calories later.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you're like, right now you're back to like
then,
1200.
then you feel guilty and you're like, oh, enough of that. 2 days, that's enough.
Yeah,
About that.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that becomes difficult. Did you find when you were messing with your posing that you should be able to find what works more efficient for your hands, where you'll be able to sort of place them and you'll see what looks better for your body? I found that everyone's sort of a little bit different in that aspect, depending on
Yeah.
how they flow and that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I found that. And I found like just by videoing myself was really useful. And like you say, watching, what position you put your hands in, and like in a certain position when I twist my hands around, I can spread my lats easier, that type of thing.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Leaning back, not leaning back.
Yeah,
Slightly
that's it.
arching the lower back, tipping the hips forward or backwards, or there's a lot
Yeah.
that all goes in it. Then they realize, if you get what I mean.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
looking up the ceiling type of thing to,
Yeah.
make sure that I'm a
Yeah.
pro.
Yeah, and looking away, especially from the side, instead of always doing this one. I got a habit of doing that. You're like, this way.
Yeah, I know. I did that.
Yeah,
I did that in Melbourne, I think. I messed
yeah.
up the posing in Melbourne, but
Like even if you do look a bit, long as you just turn back and then hit it and stand with it, it's
yeah,
it's usually
exactly.
okay, you know. But like I think we all just do that anyway, because with this, when you, especially if you practice a lot in the mirror, that's why I found
Yeah.
what I do a lot. I'd have like one session without the mirror and one session with the mirror. So so
Yeah,
you could use one because it feels the mirror's not going to be there on the day. So if
I
you're
know.
always checking when the mirror, it's harder and you can try to feel it if you get what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of that habit, isn't it? So
Mm.
I'll kind of do the same as that, and then I would just video myself and watch it back afterwards.
Yeah, that's probably the best bet because you will move a certain way because you can see, you go, oh yeah, I'll move this and do that. And if you can't
That's it.
see that and you don't feel it, it doesn't work. It doesn't transition the same. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's hard. Yeah, so what are you doing for training at the moment then? First we'll start with what were you doing leading up to Worlds and what you did for training then and how your training's changed now.
So I kind of leading up to Worlds, it was just like since April, since it's my first comp, my training had like not dropped back, but dropped back in intensity really. So like three lower, two upper, splits mainly.
Yep.
And then cardio would, I guess, increase leading up to showdown. That was just like the stairmaster, just that would increase in time.
That's nasty, that
So,
thing.
oh
That's
God,
nasty.
yeah, yeah,
Hamstrings. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, that was pretty much like I've been on that same training plan since, oh God, it feels like forever. I can't wait to change it up. But also a bit of injury prevention as well,
Did you have
trying
an
to
injury?
mitigate. No, but like trying to mitigate injury as much as possible by, using different machines and, um, using the Smith machine rather than free squats and stuff like that.
Mm.
Using the Smith machine for hip thrusters rather than the bar, towards the end to try and, because my back, I do have a back injury from CrossFit, like I said before, and I found that flared up a little bit towards the end.
Yeah, that's what it gets to. I'm stuttering as I'm saying. That's when you start to become more adapted to your body because you just train around things so you can keep pushing forward. Found the same thing. Lots of injuries. That's what you've got to do what you can do, and just be
Yeah,
grateful you can
exactly.
do it instead of pushing further. Same as like doing the heavy bent over row would be rubbish for your lower back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Something supported with the bench should be more efficient just to take that pressure off it, so it's more. Yeah, it makes sense.
Because the last thing you want is like to get that far and then have some injury that then you can't step on stage.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
devastating.
I've had that like 5 times. I'll push
No,
too hard, and you push. You know how some people have the on and off switch? I've got to either just pull back my volume. So pull back. I found because what I'd do is I'd always just push, 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 and not turn it off. If you get what I mean. I think I've
yeah,
done that before because I've done it before. I should be able to do it again. But your body doesn't work this way when you're in a deficit and when you like low
it
food
doesn't.
And it took me many years to figure it out. So now I found another method that only works. I do like a 70% when I try to diet for a long period of
Yeah.
time. I just
That's a
have to.
good
Yeah, I have to.
that's a good idea to get
Yeah,
your head around the 70% number. Because I'm the same as you.
yeah,
Like I like to train hard. If
yeah,
I haven't trained really hard, I feel like I haven't done a good job.
yeah.
Um,
You got
but
left
I
in there.
think,
You think yourself, you let yourself down or something. So,
yeah,
I could
exactly.
lift more. But I just out counted it by creating a little bit more volume. So instead of me staying lower, like
Yeah,
the 15s, the 12s, or whatever sets, I increase the volume anywhere from 15 to 20, but there's only give 70%. So then it still
yeah,
overall gets it. It's just your fatigue management needs to become a little bit better. But by saying that, you'd be burning more calories because you're doing more sets. That's what you try to do
yeah.
at that time anyway. So
And then you get to the point that you really are just trying to stay alive through the session at the end of it. Like,
yeah,
you
no,
don't really care.
you know, you drain then, and you just there's no pump anymore. You're like
Nah, you
you
don't
get
give a
you
shit
get
what
you
you're
get, you
lifting.
get and everything's like you're just when's it over? And you've done like your
Yeah,
first set.
exactly.
You're like, oh no, you're fatigued.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
someone comes to talk to you, and you just like, oh,
Fuck
I
off.
just want to get, yeah, yeah.
I train at home when it's like that. That's I got my own
Oh,
at home.
it's,
Yeah,
and they're all asking like about the comp. So when is it, and how many calories are you on? And I'm like, oh my God, if one more person asked me that question,
yeah. That's why sometimes it's better just not to say. You just throw off. Nah, don't have any. I'm on a bulk, and then they leave you alone.
yeah,
I'm on a bulk. You just do the opposite of what they think you're doing.
that's a good idea. I'll do that next time. I'll see how that goes.
Then you can surprise everyone. Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, no, cool. So yeah, so at the moment, then, so you just done the same. You haven't bothered changing the training since then because you haven't had a new plan, or you haven't got it structured, or
I only went back to train today, so I got sick in
okay,
Sydney. So the day before comp,
yeah,
we flew into Sydney, and I'd got like the start of like a cold,
mhm,
and then as we were like descending on the plane, my sinuses just felt like they were going to blow up, and that was the start of like a flu virus that we've all had.
mhm.
So I've been pretty crook since then, to be honest. And today's the first day that I've gone back to training. So yeah, I've just stuck to my old plan for now, and just to be honest, I just went in and
You would
just
have just
enjoyed
got
the
used to just
weather.
moving around a bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll find too. Like I always found that, like if I have a long diet phase or something like that, I like to have anywhere to two weeks to at least a month off, sometimes longer. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Long as I can hit legs once or twice that week, because as you get to the age of 40, it's the only thing that shrinks.
yeah,
Everything
yeah.
else will come back, but the legs they won't. So long as I can
And it
hit them once or
always
twice.
and that always feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Leg day does. But it's the favorite and the worst. That's why it's done on Monday.
Yeah,
So I got
yeah,
to think about
yeah,
it. I think you get it more than me, though. I think you get it like twice a week, don't you? You were saying.
yeah. I do. Or
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
twice or three times
What
sometimes.
what's the volume like overall?
The volume is in.
Many sets on that one day. So
Oh,
if you do legs, what do you do? Up like
I'll do a
15,
war.
12
So like, I'll do a warm up set. I'll do like 8, and then I'll usually do between 10 and 12,
sets.
and
Yeah, so
three sets of 10 to 12 reps.
3 sets.
So,
So
so I'll
all up.
do a warm up set, then 3 sets. Yeah. Sometimes I'll push like in prep if I'm doing lighter, I'll go more reps, like you
Oh,
said before.
so I get you. So you will do all overall. So if I count your warm ups as well, it's probably about 8 sets then, all up. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
probably.
but then because you've got 2 sessions overall for the amount of volume over the week would be 12.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I
That
gotcha.
sounds about
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, see, because you hit it more than once, that's why it's set that way.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I understand how you got it. Cool. What was the cardio like? So, um, did you have to do a lot at the beginning? I understand you did a lot at the end with the stairmaster and that, but at the beginning, did you have to do a lot, or did you just ease into it, or you didn't
No, I
work
kind
much?
of eased into it. So like it started with like three lots of 10 minutes a week.
Yep.
So 10 minutes, yeah, on the Stairmaster 3 times a week. And then it kind of gradually increased.
You like that
Um,
stairmaster?
oh, it's terrible. It's
I,
so boring.
I like the treadmill. That's the treadmill. Yeah.
What do you do? Like incline?
No, just walk flat.
Right.
I got a different view on cardio though. Like I view cardio as like it's 200 calories for me. I'll just pull the calories.
Right.
I don't think the same way with cardio, if you get what I mean. But cardio does help a great deal, especially if you can eat more food. But like I just, it depends on your case, if you get what I mean. So each
Yeah.
person's a little bit different.
Well,
Yeah.
and also when you first start doing cardio again, I realised how massively cardio unfit I was. And like as it went on, it kind of got a bit easier, even though it was longer. Like I just got more cardio fit. Like the first time, that first 10 minutes almost killed me.
Yeah, the
But
first
then
20, 15.
yeah, but then like towards the end, it was just like, do you just know you've got to go in there and get it done?
You will
There's
look
no
at
other
that
option.
timer and you're like, yep, 20, oh, halfway, oh,
Yeah, I know. Your eyes,
15,
my eyes,
20, oh, halfway.
my
You come
eyes
up.
were like fixated on it. I think.
Yeah, you're looking at the heart rate every now and again. Oh, oh,
Yeah,
oh, oh. Yeah,
I
no,
know.
but like I said, no, like it just like I have done all them cardio. So don't get me wrong. I've done the ones where I do 3 hours each day. I just found it would just shrink my legs. Like if I do any more than about 45 minutes, it just pulls from the legs. So I just don't.
Yeah,
45 minutes,
yeah,
that golden spot for me, if you get what I mean. What I found. So I just
yeah.
pull calories instead. Once I get to that, I don't increase
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So you just reduce your calories
Yeah, just reduce
if you need
calories.
to.
Yeah, yeah. But like I says, I usually eat a lot of calories, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I probably eat too
So when
much. Yeah, but
when will you compete again? When do you plan to compete?
I like I says, I'm in a phase where I'm like, I've just had a really long because I've had a long time off and I didn't do anything for ages. And I got really fat and out of shape. I like got depressed, got in a big stupor, ended up gaining a lot of weight. I got up to like 140, like 146 kilo or something, close to 150 kilo. I've been dieting now for close to like 66 weeks or something. So I've come down from that. But I deliberately did it very slow because I didn't want to lose skin and I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'd rebound out. So that's what I'm in now. I'm in another rebound phase. So I usually try to push them for like 6 weeks, but I don't think I'm going to do that with this one this time. I increase my calories a lot quicker. So I usually would just go like down, down, down for anywhere from 15 weeks to like 10 weeks to 20 weeks, whatever I could handle. Then I'll pump back out, sit at maintenance, a little bit above maintenance for another week, and then keep doing it so my skin will catch up. So instead of me
yeah.
just
Right.
going bang into it, and just ripping it all off because I'm like, I don't want to go and have all the operations and get it refixed, if you get what I mean. If I do it slow,
No.
I think I can get around it. And so far, it's coming all in tighter, so it's okay. I'm like, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
But at the moment, so now I'm in that phase again. I think I'm going to run that phase for another probably few weeks. But for diet fatigue is set in really bad for me because of how many weeks I've been dieting, if I'm being honest.
yeah,
So
right.
I went to like I'm waiting for to get some it's called semi-glutide. You understand what I mean? I'm going
Oh,
to
yeah,
try
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm going to try that, but at less than what the doctor's trying to give me in that. A lot less though. So I'm going to have that. So then this way I can go back and just get my protein in, if you get what I mean, and sort of do what I got to do, and then take that last little bit off, and then see how it goes. But I was, because what would have season B would be only like season C or season B, that would only be like 12 weeks or something. So I don't know if I'd be ready in time. I've got a bit of fat on me there, so it would probably take a little bit to get it off. Probably not as much as I think though, but I probably got a little bit. So more than likely it would be probably, if realistically, probably season A of
Yeah, yeah.
March, if I'm being realistic, you know what I mean? It could be ready earlier, but I don't want to push it, and I want to go to the snow this year.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we want to do that too.
I usually want to do it too. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I want to take the kids and that, so I think that's I sort of they've been putting up me dieting for like the 60 something weeks now, so if
And that's the thing, isn't it?
you know,
It's hard on the family. Like
yeah,
when we're doing stuff like this and competing in these hardcore diets, they all
yeah,
feel it, don't they?
yeah, 100%, 100%. It makes it harder, but like because it's more so that you just don't do as much socially because usually food's a social aspect. A lot of things with what we all do, especially family. A lot of family members or your friends won't understand. You end up losing a lot of your friends too during when you compete, if you get what I mean. They because
Yeah,
they sort of they sort of I don't think they mean to, but they will slightly guilt trip you oh, you're not having a drink with us. Oh, you're not doing this. Oh, you're not
Yeah, that's
doing
well,
that.
surely you can have one cheat meal or
That
and
one
you just
one will throw you off 2 weeks.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like, and then
Especially
you've
if it's a big one.
yeah, and if you've done all that hard work that weeks before, you just dig in that same constant pattern. You're going to be in that constant pattern, So yeah, but yeah, like sorry to me to be winded off your question. I sort of was trying to avoid the question. I'm dreading it, to tell you the truth. I suffer as
Yeah.
well. I suffer from like acute anxiety in crowds, for being honest. So when
Yeah.
I'm okay when I'm on the stage and it's heaps of people in front of me. It's when I'll be backstage and lots of people are close to me. Or if I win and then they all try to flock me and then want pictures and that, I'll get angry and I don't mean to, or I get like really flustered and I
It's really
yeah.
it's overwhelming, hey? Like it's really
Mm.
overwhelming.
Yeah, it's not that it's overwhelming. I think it's because, like it says, I suffer from. It's called acute anxiety. So it's some type of like similar to a yeah. Yeah, it took me many years to get over it. I just had to go to the gym at different times and slowly increase and go like later and later with more people and got used to it. But I sort of do that for a career now. I usually train people, so I'm used to doing that in the gym. And I get used to the people. It's just, I could be putting stress under myself for no reason. So I'm coming up with all these excuses of why not to. I'm my own
I
worst
think
enemy.
that I think that like
Yeah,
if you've got a plan to go away with the kids, have that whole I think it's a good reason to give yourself more time, go
yeah,
away, have a holiday and then,
yeah,
get
yeah.
back into it when you come
Yeah,
back.
yeah, it's a 12 weeks. Like that's what I said. I'm not going like I said and just going to go, because I'm having that little time. I think I've had like 3 or 4 days at higher calories. I've gained like 4 kilos in like
Yeah.
less than like not long, but I rebound very quick because a whole lot of water in that. Um, so we'll just see how it goes, and I'll pull that down, like whatever I can get down. To be case, even if I deliberately aggressive diet a lot more than I normally would, just to pull down a bit and then refood it back in. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't know. We won't say never. We'll wait and see what the body looks like, but more than likely next year for me. Sorry for
Yeah.
the long
And
answer.
what federation will you compete with?
Okay, so I'm unsure. I don't know if I'm going to do both, or I'm going to do one, or what I'm going to do because I haven't decided. Like, I understand, a lot of people in Nabba and that they've got a good community type of going, and like they're very open and very, like it says. But I'm just unsure. It'll be either IFBB or Nabba, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just haven't decided what I'm going to do. I think it's going to depend on what I look like because I've spent close to
Mm.
20 something years like building this. So, it's like it's a long time I've dedicated to building it, if you get what I mean. And
Yeah,
each
yeah.
and each time I always think I'm never good enough and I suffer from that you get the muscle dysmorphia, you're like too small. As soon as my
Yeah.
legs would get under 30 inches, I usually re-eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so like because they need to be like 30, like a pro's legs, or they're not good enough.
Mhm.
This sort of always been my head. This sort of like, or the arms go under like 20 inches, and I'm like, yeah, nah. Or the chest under a
It,
54. I'm like, nah. Yeah.
it's hard, isn't it? That mental like side of things.
Yeah.
It like
It's that
it
extra pressure on yourself, as we discussed at the beginning. Yeah.
yeah, it is. And like I don't know, like I guess it does like that body dysmorphia, it does
Mm.
affect us permanently, doesn't it? Or it can
Yeah.
do. Like
Yeah.
for me this week, obviously I've got to, like eat more and put more body fat on and that's
That been
fine. But
hard? Have you been like, because
uh
you got that leanness, and because that's what I found. A lot of you guys, like when you get that leanness, you don't want to lose it. Is that
yeah,
playing hard?
yeah, it's kind of like that, but I just want
Mm.
to eat everything. Like my hunger cues are just like through the
It's-
roof.
Growling's winning. Growling's
Oh,
winning.
yeah, it is. And like, you go to the shops and you get to check out and there's all this shit in your trolley that you don't know how it got there.
Don't go
Um,
shopping hungry.
I said that the other day. I'm like, I really can't go shopping at the
Yeah,
moment. Like someone
yeah.
else is gonna have to go.
Do it online. That's what I do if I'm
Yeah,
really
that's a
having
good
bad
idea.
craving, and they just get it delivered to the house. I'm like, yeah, no, I ain't got to think about it. If you know what I mean.
But
The only
but
pain
it's
in the butt thing is sometimes all the stuff doesn't come though, and you're like frustrated because you needed that. You got to go anyway. Sorry,
so
what were
it's
you
an
saying? Sorry,
excuse.
interrupted. Yeah.
But I guess it's like because that stage afterwards where you've got to put body fat on you. You
Mm,
came in lean and like it's like Well, wash. There's not a good reason not to at
Mm,
this stage. I don't want to like blow out and put heaps of weight on super quick,
yeah.
but there's also like not a good reason for me not to eat the ice cream or have a bit of what I want.
Yeah, like you'll find you'll be able to do that and it'll be fine.
Yeah,
That's the other thing when I've noticed, like, because I've done that so many times, I found if I eat cleaner and keep the calories like closer to that maintenance and don't like just binge right over it, I look a lot better, and I
yeah,
maintain it better and it looks better and I get better quality muscle, if you get what I
yeah,
mean.
definitely.
Instead of it just being like where I'm just like listen to my binge.
It's
Everything.
hard though, not to, hey?
Yeah, like
It's hard.
if I'm being honest, I do the 1 or 2 days. I always do. Like it says, I'm not that full control the whole time. I'll do the 1 or 2 days, and then I'll start. Okay, now it's time to wind everything back in. Start being a little
Yeah,
bit stricter. Maybe pick one meal like that, like a meal sort of what I would like more, but maybe like a home cooked burger or something. You know what I mean? And then like
yeah,
that ice cream at bedtime with protein.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think I'm going to get one of them Ninja Creamies though, and so then it's going to be better because I make my own.
yeah. That
If you
that'd
if
be perfect,
Have
wouldn't
you
it?
got one of them?
No, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, I was looking at them the other day, about $300, I think they are. So you can just like make your own ice cream then. So if you crave an ice cream and that, then technically you just make healthier ones and then yeah,
Yeah, like you say with protein.
yeah, you make protein and different ones. I'm sure you'd in the off season you can experiment and make all your different recipes because you get a little bit
Yeah,
more calories.
that's the thing. And
Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it? Hey,
yeah,
you've got some cheat meals, like, once a week you can probably eat off plan, as long as it's not,
yeah.
something like McDonald's or something crap like that. You can experiment a bit more.
What's your calories at the moment then if you're at maintenance then? Or you're not exactly back at
Uh,
maintenance yet, or you're slowly
no,
tapering up?
no, this week I've kind of had like a week off tracking.
Yeah, good. You needed it
Which
mentally. Trust me.
oh yeah, mentally I did need
Yeah,
it, but like
yeah.
I'm keen next week to get back on track. So I reckon that he'll have me back on. I don't know. I think he'll start me off on around 2,000 maybe,
Okay. Yeah, cool.
because maintenance for me is about 2,500, 2,600.
Yeah, nice.
But I think he'll probably start me off around the 2,000 or a bit higher,
What's
and we'll just
what's
see.
what's your weight when you end up getting there, if you don't mind me asking?
My weight. So my weight at the moment is I'm about my stage weight was 48.
Mm,
So I'm about 49 now.
okay.
Um,
When you
and
when you usually
then
have a decent off season, when you just like say just before you're about to start your next prep, usually, so then we've
oh
got an
yeah,
idea of
so
your off
usually
season. Yeah.
57.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah, so you get to that 60 mark. Is your calories
Yeah,
about the same then, or a bit higher usually at that stage?
my calories at that stage will go up to generally just shy of 3,000.
Oh, yeah, nice. So you're quite high then. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
you're
I'll lose
right.
weight on like less than 2,500. I'll probably lose on at that weight.
Yeah. The higher
So
carbs, not as much fats.
not as much fats. Yeah, higher carbs.
Okay, yeah. Just so you burn through them. Do you do the fluctuation or you just do the flat diet? So all I mean by fluctuate is carb cycling.
No, not really. I'll just do the same
Flat,
diet.
yeah, flat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes it simple, easier, just easier to
yeah.
maintain. You know what you're doing each day. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then because I'm working, I do shift work. I work as a nurse, so I do shift
Ah,
work as well. It just makes it easier for me
yeah.
because you can prep your meals then.
You guys have that really shit go what they do to you because I've had a few clients that are nurses and use like they would do that thing where they give you that evening shift and then the morning shift straight away.
Yeah, that's shit.
That
That's
is,
bad.
I know. I can't believe they did that, and you don't even get like time in between. Like, so you
Nah.
basically will go to sleep, wake up, you got to go back to work.
Yeah, and
What
like
type of
sometimes
shit
like
is
you'll
that? Yeah,
I know, and like sometimes you'll finish at 11, a late shift, so you get home
yeah,
at I don't know midnight. You sleep at 1, and then you're up at 5.
yeah.
So
It's not
that's
good.
I'd rather do a night shift, I think, than that.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
No.
The so what? When are you planning to compete next? There we go. We'll throw that question on you, the big one that took me
So
forever to answer.
So, me and my son,
Yep,
we both have
nice.
done season A together
Yep,
this
nice.
year. So he did the natural feds. What did he do? He did ICN. We
Yep.
got his sword,
Oh, nice.
and then he did. I'm trying to NBA.
Hmm.
It's NBA.
I think so. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we've done this season together, and we've kind of like followed each other really. Like he did, I think I went first,
Mm.
and then he did state nationals as well for ICN, and we were like a week apart. So it's been quite good going through, well, good and bad going through prep
Put
together.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
You both mood
So
swings at the same in the house at the
oh, it's
same
terrible.
time.
Yeah. Like I
I
say, it's
get
been good
I
and
get
bad.
hangry all the time. As soon as I diet,
Yeah, me
hangry,
too.
hangry all the
I'm
time.
like, I'd call him up, and he'd be like, "What now?" Like, if you're going to call moaning at me, moaning about prep, you decided to, that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but but at the end of it, it was good, really, that we could
Nice.
be there to support each other at the end, because we both had a long prep and a long season.
Mm.
So I think we've kind of like said, season B 27, maybe.
Okay.
Need to give myself time to grow.
So you got to give yourself the 2 years, and you're going to give
I
yourself a
think
good off
so.
season. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, nice, cool. And do you know what federation you're going to do? Or are you just going to play it by the hip when you get close? You're going to do both again, or are you going to do the one?
No, I'll do now, but I don't think I'll do IFBB again. I felt like that I was just kind of in between categories there. It was a bit trickier category wise.
Okay.
So I'll stick with Nabba. Nabba have been great, to be honest. Like
Yeah. What was
they've
the
been.
what was the time schedule at the show? Was it IFBB got you in and out a lot quicker, so the show was over quicker,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
yeah?
They got you in, and then like you know we did like one round of quarter turns, and then we're off. That was it.
Oh, is that it?
And that, but yeah, it
So
felt
you didn't have
like
much
it pretty
stage
much.
presence. That's like says
Nah, and
everyone I spoke to. That's what they always say. No
you're running
stage
around.
presence. Yeah.
Nah. And there's like Nabba, we did like a routine, like it was like a 60-second routine, which at the start I was like, oh fuck, no, I can't do that. Like
Mm.
60 seconds is such a long time, and I was really nervous about it. But I actually really enjoyed that part.
Mm.
That was probably one of the best parts for me.
You could pick your music and do your
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
practice, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
zone
So that was
out, sort
really
of half
fun.
meditate at the same time as you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas IFBB, I think you strike through poses. Then you do have like a bit of a routine, but you go and you strike through poses. That's it.
yeah, yeah. They just pump you out, pump you in. So I think the show's usually over by 12 o'clock, aren't they? One
I
or
can't
one or
remember. I know Nationals was quite big. That was a big show, and it was a long show. But
Hmm,
they just pumped everyone in and out, and as quickly as they could, really.
yeah. Did you find it? Sorry,